through possible questions. You'll be amazed at the number of people who obviously haven't given any consideration to what I might ask. You can guarantee almost 100% that the first question is, why have you applied for a post at this school? Again, make it personal. I've applied a post at your school because, you know, I've been in, I've met this person, I've done that, I've seen, it's got a great reputation in the area, I saw the Ofsted report, and it looks like a place I think I could really contribute to and become a good team member. You're often asked, and we're really bad at this in England. I have interviewed in America and they're brilliant at blowing their own trumpet. I've got an American daughter-in-law, so I'm allowed to say this. They're great at telling you what they're good at. British people, per se, and this is very generous, are not very good at it. Well, I think I'm quite good, no, I'm absolutely brilliant at piano playing. No, actually, I'm not very good at all, but or I'm great at teaching English. I love literature, love reading, and that's a real skill that I have. When I do the mock interviews with the students at Kingston, I say, right, tell me your skills and qualities, and we go around in a circle and go, I can't think of, you must be good at something. You wouldn't have got a place on the course if you can't do something well. And then they come out with, and then as the interview goes on and they get a little bit more confident, I come out with loads. I say, you didn't tell me that at the beginning. You didn't answer that fairly well. So think about your skills and qualities. What are you going to bring to the school? The other question that always stumps everybody, and it always surprises me, give me 3 current educational issues that might be stressing out or making teachers anxious or schools and people in schools anxious at the moment. You'll be surprised how many people don't have any up-to-date knowledge of educational issues in the media. I would say anybody working in school should read the TES. It's got great tips in there, it's got great resources, and I don't get paid for doing this, even though I know the editor quite well. It does have a lot of information that you need to know. The number of people, like I say, give me 3 and they can only give me 1, and it's usually something that's not very stressing at this particular time. So make sure that you're really up to date and you can think of 3 things you're going to talk about. I then might ask your opinion about them, which is always quite interesting, particularly if it's not in line with mine, but I'm always willing to listen to other people. So, think through at least 3. So make sure you've got in your head some up-to-date educational issues that you could talk about. I don't do it, but I know a lot of heads and lots of schools do ask you to teach. And to be honest, I couldn't better what was in your guide, and I'm sure you're going to talk about this in a minute. But on page 13 in the guide was how to teach a lesson at interview. I don't do it only because I think it's a bit of a false situation, isn't it? You're going to be asked to teach a group of kids that you don't know, that you've never probably met before, difficult to ascertain the levels that they're at, difficult to know what they've just done before that, because nobody teaches a lesson, shouldn't do, in isolation. It all comes as part of a programme of learning. And so you put these people in the most stressful situation, then they've got people sitting there watching them. And you only need Billy and Joe in the corner to start, causing trouble. And if it was Ofsted, they'd fail you immediately because not all the kids are making progress, have made good progress in that lesson. And, you're trying to deal with that in a most unreal situation. I've argued this a lot with colleagues on the National Executive, colleagues in my branch in Surrey, and my head teacher friends. And, I'm in the minority, I have to say, about that. I will talk. I don't go by references from college, to be honest with you. I mean, the universities, colleges that you've been to will give everyone a glowing reference. They want to give you a job. But I go by what the schools say at your practices, where they've got some knowledge about you, where you've done some work recently. I would contact the head. If I see that you've been a cover supervisor in the school, you know, over the way, I've phoned that head teacher, so what are they like? You know, and we talk about candidates all around the place like that. So, and if I've interviewed somebody, we were saying today, you know, sometimes we do say, you were a really close second, you know, it was really difficult to decide. If I know the teacher, or down the road's looking for a teacher, I'll phone them and say, look, I interviewed this person, they were great, they just weren't offering me music, but they'll be great in your school. And so it is quite important that you do that. But I don't get people to teach. So, but I thought your tips were really good in there, so I couldn't better that. So look at that one.